This video is sponsored by Granite Studio, RKTF University.
Good morning, I'm Vidusha Agarwal and you're watching News Flash. Today is the 13th of June and we have a lineup of crucial stories touching every corner of the globe, from the latest developments in politics to groundbreaking advancements in technology. A fire broke out early on Wednesday in a 6-story building housing workers in Mangaf, southern Kuwait, resulting in the deaths of at least 49 workers, including Indians, and injuring dozens. The blaze started in the building's kitchen located in Kuwait's southern Ahmadi Governorate. Emergency services are responding to the incident and further details are awaited. A fleet of Russian warships and aircraft entered the Caribbean on Wednesday in a move perceived as a show of strength amid rising tensions over Western support for Ukraine. The US military anticipates that the exercises will involve several Russian ships and support vessels with potential stops in Venezuela. India has urged Russia to return Indian citizens recruited by the Russian army after 2 were recently killed in the Ukraine war, Foreign Secretary Vinay Kwatra said on Wednesday. Now, Kwatra assured that the Indian government is taking the matter very seriously since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022. Russian President Vladimir Putin has mobilized various forces. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Italy today, June 13, to attend the annual G7 summit at the invitation of Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. This marks PM Modi's first international trip after beginning his 3rd consecutive term in office, as confirmed by Foreign Ministry Secretary Vinay Kwatra on Wednesday. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is set to host the G7 summit in Puglia, a region in southern Italy, amid alarming reports of increased mafia-style violence in the area. According to the Italian Interior Ministry's semi-annual report released in January 2024, there has been a surge in violent activities by 3 mafia-style criminal groups in Puglia. The World Bank has warned that the Maldives faces a high risk of debt distress and financing challenges, highlighting that the nation has been spending beyond its means for decades. The World Bank country director of the Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Faris H. Haddad Zarvo, stated that the Maldives' annual debt servicing needs are projected to be USD 512 million for the current and following years and will rise to USD 1.07 billion in 2026, marking the country vulnerable to economic shocks. Alphabet's Google has chosen Brazil as the first country to test a new anti-theft feature for Android phones that uses artificial intelligence to detect theft and lock the device's screen. This initiative addresses the escalating problem of phone theft in Brazil, where nearby 1 million cell phones were reported stolen in 2022, according to Brazilian Public Security Yearbook of 2023. Chinese online scammers, Russian propaganda agencies and dubious AI chatbots, including those from reputable tech companies, share a common tactic using women to create fake profiles or AI-generated voices. This strategy underscores how entrenched gender stereotypes continue to shape human behavior in the digital realm, mirroring persistent biases from the physical world to the virtual one. A special judge court in Bangladesh on Wednesday indicted Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus and 13 others on charges in an over $2 million embezzlement case. Now, Yunus, 83, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for pioneering microcredit to help impoverished people, especially women, pledged not guilty and is out on bail for now. As violence escalates in the occupied West Bank, Palestinians and human rights groups are increasingly critical of what they perceive as a merging of roles between the Israeli army and settlers, emboldened by the current pro-settlement government. Now, Joe Carmel, advocacy coordinator for Breaking the Silence, an Israeli anti-occupation NGO composed of former soldiers, stated that the already blurred line between army and the settlers has now been completely erased. Apple's recent AI announcement is a major development, primarily addressing the challenge of boosting iPhone sales. Now, despite a generally positive public response to Apple Intelligence and the WWDC 24 event, Wall Street's initial reaction was lukewarm. with Apple's stock pricing dipping nearly 2%. A recent report from the European Central Bank revealed a decline in the share of the euro in foreign exchange holdings last year, with the dollar and yen gaining ground. The trend is expected to continue, especially if Russia reduces its euro stockpile. The ECB has emphasized the need for increased financial integration within the European Union to reverse this decline in the euro's share among foreign reserves. It is time for a break now. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
इस तरह आरकेडीएफ विश्वविद्यालय राज्य और देश के आधुनिक और उच्च विश्वविद्यालयों में से एक है।
आरकेडीएफ यूनिवर्सिटी, ये है आरकेडीएफ यूनिवर्सिटी।
आरकेडीएफ यूनिवर्सिटी, a world-class university. Education glorifies nation.
The ministry offices in Luton's Delhi, Hotel Janapath, as well as airport terminals. Granite Studio India, with its prestigious brands, rich experience, and the trust of our clients, can be your reliable partner. We are here for you, for innovating, processing, supplying, and executing in stone. Contact us today for our special sample kit.
South Korea's main opposition leader, Lee Jae-myung, has been indicted on bribery charges stemming from an alleged scheme involving an underwear maker to transfer funds to North Korea. The accusations involve facilitating a visit to Pyongyang during Lee's tenure as a provincial governor. Lee's deputy during that time has already been convicted in a related case involving bribery and illegal fund transfers to North Korea. South Korea has launched an investigation into allegations that taxpayers covered the expenses for former First Lady Kim Jong-suk's 2018 trip to India's Agra, where the Taj Mahal is located. The inquiry comes after a complaint was filed 6 months ago, prompting authorities to look into the matter. Not just Israel or Hamas, but both the warring sides have been found committing war crimes in Gaza. The United Nations found in its first in-depth report on the October 7 attack. While Hamas and other Palestinian terror groups have been grossly violating international laws, Israel has also been accused of committing crimes against humanity in Gaza. Pakistan's donkey population has experienced a notable increase, rising by 1.72% to reach 5.9 million in the fiscal year 2023-24, according to the Pakistan Economic Survey 2023-24 released on Tuesday. The survey reveals a consistent growth in the donkey population over the past 5 years, starting from 5.5 million in 2019 to 2020 and gradually increasing each year to reach the current figure. President Draupadi Murmu has declined the mercy petition of Pakistani terrorist Mohammad Arif, also known as Ashfaq, who was convicted in the nearly 24-year-old Red Fort attack case. Now, Arif, a member of the band Lashkar-e-Taiba and a Pakistani national, has submitted the petition, which was received on May 15 and rejected on May 27. US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is set to visit India next week, marking the first significant interaction between the two countries since Prime Minister Narendra Modi started his third term. During his visit, Sullivan will meet with his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval to conduct a comprehensive review of cooperation under the Initiative on the Critical and Emerging Technology. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing a surge in violence with 3 separate attacks occurring in the last 80 hours. The latest incident involved terrorists launching an attack at the Army's temporary operating base in Jammu's Doda region, resulting in the injury of 5 Army soldiers and 1 special police official. The security forces have reported that they successfully neutralized 1 terrorist involved in the attack. TDP chief Chandrababu Naidu was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh on Wednesday, while Jan Sena's Pawan Kalyan took office as a minister in the state government. The swearing-in ceremony saw the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with Union Ministers Amit Shah, JP Nadda and Nitin Gadkari, among others. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju announced on Wednesday that the first session of the 18th Lok Sabha will commence on June 24. The initial 3 days of the session will witness the swearing in of or affirmation of newly elected members, followed by the election of the Speaker of the House. The Union government has provided a significant relief for goons with Portuguese citizenship seeking overseas citizenship India cards. They can now use a passport revocation order instead of a surrender certificate if they certify that they acquired the Portuguese passport legitimately. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor, India's first bullet train project, is significantly boosting the cement and construction industry while generating employment opportunities. Official data reveals that approximately 20,000 cubic meters of cement concrete are utilized daily, equivalent to 8 10-story buildings across Gujarat and Maharashtra. In the third terror-related incident within 24 hours in Jammu and Kashmir, a police official was injured on Wednesday when militants opened fire on a search party in the Gando area of Doda district. The injured officer has been hospitalized. The encounter between militants and the joint forces of the Indian Army's 4RR and Jammu and Kashmir police is currently ongoing. That's all for the headlines of the day. For more updates, download the app and keep watching Rhythm.